Accelerated, welcome, welcome. It's National Prime Rib Day. If you've ever watched Parks and Rec, you know that Ron Swanson would approve of this day. So when he has a 3-course meal, all 3 courses should consist of prime rib. Definitely his day. Do we have any Parks and Rec fans in the house? Anybody like Parks and Rec? Yes, no? It's kind of like The Office, but like based in like government version of The Office. It's pretty funny. I like it better than The Office, but that's an unpopular opinion, I know. LVL likes it. Nice, cool. All right, so we're gonna jump in. This is just like a calendar of where we've been. We have had 2 weeks done, 2 weeks down, 6 weeks to go. And today we're gonna start with CAASPP prep. And we're gonna do that for the next 2 weeks. And then in week 5, we'll have the test. So it's gonna be awesome. Today we're gonna learn about what it is, and we're gonna get started on just like a few questions of what we have to do. Kim, no problem. Sounds good. Thanks for letting me know. So just wanted to remind you, if you're having any issues with those assignments, that we do have office hours from 10:30 to 12 on Tuesday, Thursday. Great. Wow, I just got a call. I've never been called before. I just did that to all of you. But Cheyenne's calling me. Interesting. Anyways, the Monday you might be called by Ms. Yama, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays it's just like open time from 10:30 to 12. I did call a bunch of you because I wanted to make sure you were here, since we're talking about the beginning of CAASPP today. So if you got a call that was like, I was like calling. Yeah, David Molina, when I called him, he goes, "Miss, I thought I had a virus." And I was like, "You don't have it. I thought my computer had a virus." I'm like, "No, I just called you because I didn't want you to miss out." So thanks for being here. I know you're taking time out of your day, although it is class time, so here for it. Okay, just wanted to really quickly jump into we're gonna do like a little bit of why, maybe 10 minutes of some like introductory slides for this test. And then we're gonna do some practice, and we're just gonna do 3 questions today. And those 3 questions you'll see on Canvas. Canvas looks a little funky right now, so I wanted to just show you what it looks like. So let's start with what is CAASPP. Do you all remember this logo right here? It looks like a little world where like California is the only continent. Yeah, y'all remember this? For sure. You've never taken it before. That's also possible. If this is your first public school experience, if hybrid is if you went to a non-public school before this, you might never have taken it before. Yeah, and you might remember the noise. That's like, oh, I can't do it. But we're gonna hear it today. Wow, now that I heard the like Zoom dinging, now I can't remember the noise, but you know the noise I'm talking about, that Ashley's talking about. You probably took it in like 5th or 6th grade, and then you probably took it in 8th grade if you were in public school at that time. So you don't have to be scared. You have done this before, most likely. It is in English and math for all juniors in the state of California. So if you go to a public school in California, you have to take this test. It stands for the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress. We want to know how you're doing and how you are progressing. We're going to do it during week 5, starting May 10th through the 14th. So May 10th to 14th, that is week 5. You're not going to fail. You're not going to fail. Also, there's no way to fail this test, so I'll tell you. Don't move schools. Y'all are silly, insane. If we miss a day of testing, will we be able to make it up? Yes. Friday is designed to be a makeup day, and then if you need to finish later, we can do it later. Basically, it's set up that Monday and Wednesday are your English days, and Tuesday and Thursday are your math days. The most of the tests will be done on Monday and Tuesday, and then the next portion, the smaller portion, will be on Wednesday and Thursday, whatever you have left over. We often, well, I'll get into this, but we often have, this is like, I like to call this an ACT redemption test. You know how on the ACT, everything is like like you get 60 questions, 60 minutes, and like lots of us run out of time. Hand up if you've ever run out of time in the ACC. I have. So you definitely like, you get as much time as you need on this test. And so we want to make sure that you have all of that time. If you are going to, if you're going to be absent, we will let you have that time later. Antoine, if you could pop attendance in the chat, por favor, please. Thank you, Antoine. Cool. So it's going to be during week 5. So this is week 3 right now. We have next week, week 4, and then week 5, that'll be the test. Okay. So the test has English and math, and each part has 2 parts. So English has 2 parts, math has 2 parts. The first section, or well, I think we're going to do performance test first, but one of the sections is the computer adaptive test. So this is like multiple choice, fill in the blank, drag and drop, all these different things that we're going to practice today and on Thursday, so that you, so that they can figure out what level you're at. So maybe they might start with everyone. They might give everyone like a 9th grade question. And then if you get it right, maybe they'll give you a 10th grade question. If you get it wrong, they might give you an 8th grade question, right? And then the same thing, right? Like goes up and down until it can figure out generally what level you are at, okay? So it's adaptive. That means no one gets the same test. Everyone gets a different test. You might have some similar questions, but it'll go potentially in a different order, et cetera, et cetera. You can take as long as you need to on each question, right? It's okay to guess, but if you need to take additional time to figure out the right, like best educational guess, you totally can. So it's not timed like the ACT. You get scored on the number of correct answers, but also the difficulty. So basically it's kind of like you get more points if you get a hard question right. So if you get a hard question right, maybe you get 4 points. If you get an easy question right, maybe you get 1 or 2 points, that type of thing. And it's supposed to take about an hour for each subject, but it might take a little bit longer, a little shorter, depending. The one thing I would mention is if you are just clicking buttons, it won't end. Like it won't get to the end, right? So you need to like the computer's trying to figure out where you're at. And if you're just clicking random things, like it's not like the ACT where like you just bubble straight B's and eventually you run out of bubbles, right? This test actually like it's trying to figure out where you're at. So like if you get 1 right and then 1 wrong and then 1 right and then 1 wrong and then 1 right and then 1 wrong, it won't end because it doesn't know where you're at. And so you want to make sure that you are doing the best you can. The second portion of it is called the performance task, and it's centered around like a common theme or problem. And in the math part, it's like one long problem, like maybe a problem that's like all about the same topic. I think there was like a sandbox problem. Someone was mentioning like a sandbox problem. I don't know if that rings a bell from 8th grade or something, but like one long problem. And then on the English side, it's like short questions, short answer questions, or like an essay type question. Okay. That's the longer section. They give you like 90 minutes to 2 hours. I've seen some people spend like 10 minutes on this because they just like blanked out and didn't do anything. I've seen some people spend like 2 hours on this because they were writing a long essay, right? So this one is like very variable, lots of different lengths of time. Okay. Are there any questions about the type or the structure of the test? Any questions? Cool. Okay. So then you might be asking like, but what if I fail? You can't really fail. I mean, I guess you can, but there's no like failing language here. If you remember from middle school, you might remember like you could get a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1 kind of thing. A 4 is standard exceeded. This means you're like ready for college level work, like etc. You probably don't have to take the college test, the entrance test at your college. Standard met is like a 3. That means you're like proficient. You can kind of think of this as like advanced and then proficient. And this standard nearly met is like almost proficient or partially proficient. That means you're not quite ready for college level math or college level English. And then standard not met means like you did not do well on the test. Okay. We don't usually have too many of this section. So we'll talk about what it means for college in just a moment. This is like where we have sat I think this was 2 years ago. We didn't take it last year because we had just like moved into the pandemic and California wasn't requiring it, but they are requiring it this year. So blue is like your 4s and red is your 3s and 2s. So in English, we do really, really good in English, or we have in the past done very, very well in English. And then green is that 1 section. So we want to make the greens like as small as possible. We want as few as possible green. And then for math, we have our 4s and our 3s and then 2s and then a larger bucket of 1s. So our goal this year is to make the green section as small as possible and make the blue and red sections much bigger. Okay. I know that this said, so the goal, this is for the 2019, the goal was 55%. That's still pretty much our goal. And I know that feels like a really low number, but to put this in perspective, the average of like LAUSD or LA schools is like 18 or 19% in the 3s and 4s. So we're actually doing awesome. We're doing really, really good. You don't need to get nervous taking the test. You're going to be fine. Right? So it's important, but it's not, shouldn't be stressful. Okay. So there are 3 ways that it matters. Okay. 3 ways that it matters. I'll start with these 2 over here. 1 is that we're given a grade, like we as a school are given a grade based on how you all do on the test. So you might have seen Ms. Dier's email today about us moving up in the rankings. I think we're like number 6 now in Los Angeles. So like that's awesome. So this is a portion of how we get ranked for it. It's also like we're going to compare it to your 8th grade scores so we can learn about what progress you make, like what you know, and any support that we might need to give you during 12th grade so you can be ready for college. And then this is like the big way that it matters like to you directly is that colleges use the results to help place students in their classes for their freshman year of college. So you might be able to skip a math class or an English class if you do well on the test. So for example, maybe English 100 is like the freshman level class. If you score proficient or advanced, like in those top 2 categories, 4 or 3, then you can like go straight into that class. If you don't score a 4 or 3, if you get a 2 or a 1, at your college, you may need to take a remedial class or a lower level class before you can get into that credit bearing class, right? So that's a portion of it is like you want to do the best you can on this test. There, most colleges have another entrance exam that you can take, but if you pass this one, then you usually don't have to pass that one. This is specifically for the Cal States and then a lot of the community colleges as well. And then everybody sort of has their own system. Are there any questions about what I've talked about so far? So I'd say this is an important test, but it doesn't need to be stressful. All right. So this is a little bit of information about the test. If you have any questions about it, I'm happy to support you. So we have talked a little bit about what it is and why it exists. We're going to do a little bit of practice. So if you click onto Canvas, you're going to see something that looks like this. I'm going to click there in a second. For the rest of this week and next week, we're going to do some practice around this. And today we're going to start by logging into a training test. So go ahead and head to your Canvas page. If you don't have it bookmarked, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat here. You should see, you're not going to see all that because it's not published anymore. Hold on. There we go. Okay. You should see something like this. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can go ahead and collapse. You don't need week 1 anymore. You don't need week 2 anymore. And then you should see week 3. And you should see Tuesday. And then you should see assignment 38, 1, 2, 3, and then you should see Thursday. Okay, so Thursday, we're going to do this on Thursday. You're welcome. It's already published, so you can do it now if you want. But we're going to go ahead and start by clicking on assignment 38, directions and link for logging in. You should see something that looks like this. You have the Zoom. I'll post the recording that I'm doing right now here after class. And then today's assignment is in parts over the next 3 Canvas pages. Okay, so 3 pages. We're going to submit 1 screenshot on each page. Note, you only need to do 1 through 3 for today. We're going to do 4 through 8 on Thursday. And then optionally, there is a document. I know some people are like, oh, I'd much rather have a document than just like random screenshots. So I did make a document. If you click that link, it will load like this. And you can have, you can go ahead and put your screenshots in here. If you need to submit like the assignment on Canvas, you're welcome to submit the document on Canvas, you're welcome to. But for most of us, we can just submit the screenshots like 1 by 1 on each page. Okay. So we're going to scroll down to login directions. You'll see there's a document here that has all of the directions to log in, but I'll do it with you. They're going to go ahead and go to this link. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. Go ahead and go to that link there. And it's going to come up with something. Let me get out of this. It's going to come up with something that looks like this. And you're going to go ahead and press the green one here. The green one. And you should see something that says guest. You're going to leave it on for guest. Press sign in. May take a little while to load, that's okay. We are in 11th grade, so go ahead and scroll down to 11th grade. And then you should see some pink and some yellow. Some pink and some yellow. Go ahead and put PY in the chat when you see pink and yellow on your screen. Put PY in the chat. Nice. Looking good. Awesome. All right, lots of PYs. So when you get to P and Y, when you get to the pink and the yellow, just like so you're aware, you can come back to this same thing and do the practice test. We're going to work on that next week. And then there's also an English training test and an English practice test. So if you want to see what it looks like, you have access to all of these. The one we're going to do today is the second yellow one. So where it says math training test, second yellow. Math training test. That's what you're going to click. And then you're going to see a bunch of settings. You can change whatever settings you want. I would not recommend changing any of them. The one that most people like to change, if someone wants to change something, the one they most likely change is the color contrast. And you can change it to like light gray or like reverse contrast. I know some of you all have your computer set up like that, or like medium gray or like yellow on blue. However you want to set it up, you can. I'm just going to do black on white. You'll notice there's a decimals calculator, yay. So for the calculator sections, there will have a decimal graphing calculator. And then you're going to press select. And this is where the magic happens, that fun sound. Here we go, ready? Ah, isn't that fun? Let's play it again. Are you getting nightmares from the sound? One more time for the people in the back. I know, so lovely. So lovely. All right, so then once you play the sound, you haven't heard that since elementary. I know. How do I get there again to the yellow and pink? On this page, Elizabeth, click the green one. The green one, and then go to 11th grade, and then just keep clicking the green button until you get there. So on this page, the sound and video, you're going to have to press this here. So it gives you that check mark, and then you press continue, and then press begin test now. Does it say guest, Elizabeth? So when you go here, it should say student login, wait for it, and then press sign in. And then you go to 11th grade. Yeah, you're good. You're welcome. All right, so you should be on this page here. You should see question number 1. Par says Roxana's there, Leslie's there. The best is on Roasty Toasty. Elvia's there. Angelica, I see you. So log all the way in until you see number 1. Cool. Looks like a lot of us are getting there or have gotten there. Awesome. You're there. Awesome. Okay, so for number 1, so we're going to do a little bit of clicking back and forth between Canvas and the test. So on Canvas, we're going to go ahead and go to, now that we're logged in, we're going to go ahead and go to next. And then each page is aligned to one question on the test. Okay, so this one says, question 1 says this, which we see on our test. If we go to the test portion, we can see that same question. So it says, click on the hamburger button next to number 1. You should see this drop down. So the 3 lines, that's what I call the hamburger button. You're going to click the hamburger button and it says, click strike through, cross out the answers you think are incorrect, select the correct answer. Then we're going to screenshot it and submit it. So my screenshot should look like this when I'm done, right? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to press the hamburger button. I'm going to go down to strike through, and that lets me like literally cross things out like this. It's kind of like crossing them out on paper. So which answers can I cross out? I'm thinking A and B. I know those are not the same as m squared minus 25. Antoine says C is the correct answer. We can cross out
D.
Wait, say that one more time, Antoine.
Oh, I was saying that I had made an accident. I meant D.
Oh, we should cross out D.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we'll cross out D. I agree, because if I have -5 squared, it should be positive 25. So that's not it, right? So that one's out. So this one, so I know C is the correct answer, but if I click on it, it just keeps crossing it out. So I need to click over here to get out of the strike through situation and then click C. And it will let me click there, select that as my answer. And then I'm going to go ahead and screenshot the section here. I'm going to go back to Canvas and I'm going to submit it on number 1. So if you're on the student view for number 1, you're going to go ahead and submit, click on start assignment. You know how to do this. You're just going to submit the screenshot. If you want to put the screenshot on your document and then submit the document, you're welcome to. That's totally fine if you want to do it that way. But we're going to submit by uploading a file. Good question, Angela. Angela asks, are we being graded on accuracy? So if you look at the rubric, you get 2, it says show that you could cross things out. If you cross things out, you got 2 points. And then selected an answer. If you select the correct answer, you get 4 points. If you select some answer, you get 3. It's out of 5. So as long as you select some answer, you're going to get 5 out of 5. You get an extra point on all of these. You get extra credit if you get the answer correct. Okay, so we're doing like mostly participation today, right? You get full points if you just do the thing you're supposed to do. If you get it correct, you also get an extra point. So you get 6 out of 5. So you're going to submit your assignment. And that is number 1. Number 1. So now I'm done with number 1 here. I'm going to press next. On my test itself, I can press save. good to press save as many times as you can. And then press next. You should be able to go to number 2. Notice if I try to go to number 3 right now, it's not going to let me go to number 3. I have to do them in order. I can go back to number 1, but I cannot go forward until I've answered the question. You have a calculator up here. If you click calculator here, you will see eventually that Desmos loads pops up, and then you can type in, x minus 5 or whatever. Oops. X minus 5, and it will graph for you. If you wanted to do math, just like 3 divided by 5, I'll show you point 6. Right, you still have all of your same buttons that you're used to from Desmos. They're all popped in here. And then you can like drag it around as well. If you exit it, you can get it back by pressing the calculator button. So calculator is helpful. So you're going to do number 2 and then screenshot it and put it on here. Notice it says, so you're going to practice typing these things, typing really hard things on here. And then after practicing, type in your answer, screenshot the correct answer and submit here. So on here, this is like an IXL question. You just have to type in what you think is the answer. Does anyone know what the answer should be? If we have b to the 11th divided by b to the 4th. What do we do with those exponents? Yes, Ashley, good job. Your question is different. Lillian, are you on the training test or did you accidentally press the practice test? Yeah, Lizbeth, it's b to the 7th. So then go ahead and press B. If you need to press power of, it's this button right here. This one. B to the power of 7, like that. You got it right. Nice. Yeah, Lily, you probably have to go back to the login page. Go back to the login page and follow, or go back on Canvas too and follow the directions at the bottom of the screen to get to you got to press the yellow training test.
It says high school math practice test guest session.
Ooh, yeah, it should say high school math training test. So you're gonna have to exit out of that tab and go back through the login process.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so you're gonna screenshot this baby and you're gonna turn it on here. And notice again, you get 5 points for submitting something and you get 1 additional point for getting the correct answer. But you just watched me type in the correct answer, so everybody should get it. And then once you got that, you can press save and then go to number 3. I'm gonna let you do number 3 on your own. It's a true or false question, so you should have true or false for each of these. So maybe they're all true, maybe one of them's true, one of them's not, something like that. Then you're gonna screenshot this and turn it in on number 3. And then you are done for today. So once you do 1, 2, and 3, you are done. If you want to keep going today, you're welcome to. 4 through 8 are already there. But when you're done with 1 through 3, you can just close out of that tab and then you're done for today.
I don't see the one that you said. It only says start high school math practice test.
Let me see though. Is it pink what you see?
Yeah, it's pink.
Does it let you scroll down?
Yes, I see yellow and then pink again and yellow.
So on the yellow one, on the first yellow one, do you see one that says start high school math training test?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, it's that one right there. We'll do that other one later. Yeah, Antoine, what's that?
Are we gonna go over for instance, you see how this question is Are we gonna go over it for the people that got it wrong or something like that, just to like, so we know what we're doing or like where we made a mistake?
Would you let? Are you like you want me to go over the answers for this one?
Not for this one, I'm saying like generally, like since we're doing like practicing it, like if we get the answer wrong, is there gonna be like a video or something where it breaks it down and explain what it is?
Yeah, my plan for next week, Antoine, is to have you do like maybe 10 questions, like try them on your own, see what answers you get. And then when you're done, you'll get like it'll send you to another document where you can check your answers and watch videos on how to do it. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah, there'll be like more personalized, like checking your work and whatnot. Yep. Perfect. Good questions, y'all. All right, team. Any questions for me? It looks like a lot of you have already. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. So you're gonna go all the way to number 3. And then once you've submitted 1 through 3, you are done with our class for today. And it looks like 15 people submitted number 1 so far. 11 people submitted number 2. Awesome. 2 people are already done. If you're one of those 2 people, you are free to head out. So Angelica, I got you. Sada, I got you. Lizbeth and Michelle, I got you. Ben, I got you. Diana, Elvia, and Anna, thanks for playing. I got you. Lizbeth, you just need to do 1 through 3. If you want to keep going, you can get started. That's just going to be what we do on Thursday. Cool. So I got Angelica, Sada, Lizbeth, Michelle, Ben, Diana, Elvia, Anna. I got you guys. Thanks, friends. Antoine, I got you. Leslie, I got you. Angelica, Sada, Lizbeth, Michelle, Geraldine, Ben, Roxana, Diana, Elvia, Anna, Brittany. Bye, friends. Yeah, Ashley, you can just close the tab. You're not logged in or anything. It's all good. You're welcome. Bye, friends. Bye. Bye, friends. Let me know if you have questions.